So would you believe that we have done a 360-degree turn on where we think we might be going in this lifestyle change, in this world of presently decluttering our lives to get ready for this? And guess what we've decided on? Stay tuned, and we'll talk a lot about it. So in this video today, my friends, we're going to talk about budgets. Ooh, I don't like that word, but at this point it's necessary. And we're going to see if we can afford to do what we want to be able to do. Hello, my friends. It's Nanny from Nanny and the Moose, and I'm here to talk some more about our lifestyle change and all about that decluttering and purging that I'm doing out there and in here, kind of taking care of all my stuff, not getting rid of everything, but that you kind of have to keep doing all these things at the same time. And because you want to know what you can bring with you, what you can afford, and that's one of the biggies. And as we speak, Moosey's down there in Moosey's world doing a budget. Can you believe it? No, we haven't lived on a budget for a long, long time. And it's time to start figuring that out. How many of you live on a budget at this point in your lives? It's interesting to see, and he's laughing. Every once in a while I hear him laughing because he's repeating some of our expenses and things. And you know what we spend an awful lot of money on? Guess.
Fast food.
Not really fast food. That's not that bad. Although that's gotten expensive and we are cutting down on that. It's bird seed and bird food. Can you believe that? Yes. Okay, Moose, what's the scoop with the budget?
Well, I just finished it. I didn't want to tell you.
Oh, gosh. Bad news?
Yeah.
What?
You have to die when you're 92.
Oh, we can make it to 92?
Yeah.
Oh, it used to be 84, remember?
That's before we dip into your account.
Oh.
If we dip into yours, we can go to 95.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How exciting.
It's right here.
It's all there. So we've been living kind of high in the hog lately, right?
Well, that's continuing to live as we are.
Yeah.
So that's not taking any savings out.
Oh, really?
No. We can continue to have our $59 hamburger.
Cartridge. Yeah, I was telling our friends about that. Yeah. Maybe no more of that. We'll have to stick to Wiener Schnitzel or something.
Well, I've got pages and pages of details here.
Yeah.
Being a former accountant.
Yeah.
Good night. Look at this.
Well, we never did live on budgets, did we?
Huh?
We never lived on budgets.
No, we spent what we ever had.
Yeah. Well, we spent a lot of money on raising kids and putting them through good schools and all that. Had a lot of fun and trips, but we've been everywhere. We don't need to do that anymore. We just...
Plus, we had some department stores that really loved us.
Oh, that's true.
Going back to J.J. Newberry.
Oh, you'll never forget that, for heaven's sakes. We were 25 years old. They used to take all the babies there and just sit in the toy aisles. What did I spend? $25 a month, and that was high then, right? Okay, we'll keep going so we can...
I'm done.
So this was our busy week. If you remember, we had doctor appointments all week long. And we had to drive down to Newport. That was a bad day with picking up the new earplug. And but we did go out and have to get blood draws and doctor appointments. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. We did talk with a surgeon about the possibility of Moosey having surgery down the line, maybe 4 or 5 months. This medication that he's on is just working so well. This lovely woman, a surgeon, actually was talking about Moosey's tumor, that he has a carcinoma axilla, which is sort of in the armpit area. And as when he started out, it was about this big. And she did this and showed us. And after 2 months of medication on what he's on, not quite 2 months, it is this big. Is that amazing? Now, she said the tumor board, when the doctor went to the tumor board, they discussed with all these other oncologists, and they were amazed. It was our Christmas miracle, in a way, the reduction of the tumor. So things are going well there, and there is a possibility that he could have surgery if, remember, he broke his neck and wore that neck brace for so long. So if he could get his neck way back, so they'd have to insert a tube for anesthesia to be able to do this. If it got even tinier and they wanted to take that out, he'd definitely have to have more movement. So he might have to think about doing that rehab to get his neck moving and to get more mobility there. A little stop for lunch on the way home from the doctor today. And look at all those good things. We had the sauerkraut dogs, and Moosey has what kind of a shake, Moosey?
Oreo.
An Oreo shake.
So sweet.
Boy, I have my lemonade here. Call it, as I say, Der Wiener Schnitzel. Now, as you can see, Moosey has a nice soft brace around his neck. Guess why he wears that? Why do you wear that, Moose?
It holds my pants up.
No, he doesn't like it when I go over bumps. I try and go as easily as I can. So this way he doesn't have to hang on to his neck. But this is only when we ride in the car. Good
It's
idea,
so
though.
comfortable. Yeah.
Is it? That's good. Well, it saves you from getting scared when I run into those bumps in the road, right?
You don't scare me.
Okay, so we're on our way home, and I have big story to tell you about what we've been discussing. See you later. So back to this idea of where do we go? Where would we live? So after looking at several places where I actually went in and got some tours of some of these places, we looked at them. We looked at the ambiance within the communities. Several of them had up to 700 units in them. Some of them had 400. We saw one darling little small community of 40, and believe it or not, they were like small cottages. And the minute I saw them, they were connected, and there was a big green lawn in the middle, and they looked out on those. And I thought right away, oh my goodness, this is for us, because you have told me so much about your experiences too. Many of you have talked about the stomping and the noise on the top of these first floors, which is what we would need with Moosey's mobility problem. So talked about that. Now, right away, when I looked at it, well, they were darling. They were older, and they didn't have a lot of the interior amenities. I don't think they had air conditioning and things like that. But it had a little back patio, grassy patio, and definitely windows all around, although these cottages were connected. And it just seemed so nice. It really seemed nice. The drawback, which is the big thing now that is becoming the problem with every place, is the walk from where you have to park a car, carports, or if you're lucky enough to get covered parking. There are no garages, obviously, in many of these places. Some, if you really hunted them down, I suppose in some higher places, higher priced places, there might be some. But it was the walk all the way from your unit, all the way down out to a car park where you'd probably have a place. And that was the big thing. I would have to get Moosey out of a wheelchair out there and then in all the way down this walk. So it still would mean a lot of pushing a wheelchair, which is something that I'll tell you, in and out of the car 3 and 4 times a week with these doctor appointments, and then into the buildings and up and down and all around, me pushing Moosey in a wheelchair, it's beginning to get me, let me tell you. So we've got these problems. And then we thought, in fact, I think Two or three of you might have mentioned this. Why not a small home? Well, that never occurred to us. So now it has become something that we are thinking about, and we're tossing it around with all the children. Isn't it amazing the things that you go through when you're thinking about a relocation? So many of you are telling me about you're contemplating it, but you don't know where to go, what to do. Some of you have been in your homes for 30, 40, 50 years, like we were at one point before our retirement. See, we're on about the fifth or sixth move at this point. And we've been there with moving from a big family home to another big family home, mainly because of our relocations, having lived in Europe and up in San Francisco, back east, and here in California. So we've been through the big declutters, but being a stuff lover and an antique lover, as you can tell, and we've talked so much about this, we still have clutter and a lot of purging to do too. But what do you think of the house situation? We did put it out there the other day to the kids, and almost all of them agreed that yes, perhaps this might be the way to go. So if we do, that means that the monthly cost will definitely be higher than if we were in one of these communities and renting a unit, a 2-bedroom unit. Now, you do still have a lot of utilities, believe it or not, in some of those units. Some of them say they provide all of them, but not all. Usually they'll do maybe trash and water, and then you handle your own electricity and gas and whatever. So let me tell you what we've started. So Moosey, down there in Moosey's world, has been doing a budget of our expenses, the way we've been living lately. And it's a little laughable. Not really, but he's coming up with some funny numbers. For instance, over the past month, he found out how much we spend on food, which is unbelievable that I can think of for 2 people. We don't eat a lot of meat, although I have a big freezer in the shed and in the kitchen, a fairly good size freezer. And I don't usually, when I go out weekly to shop, sometimes it's bi-weekly, but my weekly shop is mostly buying condiments or various things that you need to buy over and over again, fruit, vegetables, milk, butter, whatever. And I'm not usually, I don't think I ever go near the meat counters because I have most of that in the freezers, but yet our bills seem high. Now, what we found, we were spending a lot of money, and I'm not going to include the birds, but the birds did go up. Bird seed was highly expensive. We buy 3 different kinds, including those little snack rounds, which I'm not going to tell you how much those are. Those are out now. So if we cut out the bird feeding, that would help quite a bit. If we cut out fast food for 2 people for a lunch or something like that, too expensive. The little bits of maybe a Diet Coke and a burrito at Del Taco would probably still stay in, ladies, mainly because that's not that much, really. It isn't. However, some of the things were outrageous. Now, the other thing he did was the Amazon bill. That was unbelievably high. But once again, I do buy my monthly coffee, big boxes of 80 of these cups for the machine on Amazon. And Moosey buys one kind. I like the flavor. He likes the plain. So those are some of the bigger expenses. Birdseed, of course, was on there, and that was quite expensive. And my collagen and various other things. Those are high-ticket items. I didn't find myself buying that much in the way of clothing lately at all. a few little things like renewing my cosmetics, things like that, or reviewing some medical things, the pills, the vitamins, things like that. So those were expensive. We found out that we live probably higher on the hog than we need to. So we will start thinking about expenses now and probably reduce a lot of that, especially in the food line. You know, I do keep a lot of I have a lot of cabinets where I keep a lot of my soups and my tomatoes and a lot of canned goods and things. But we do run out through the mustard, the ketchup, the mayo, etc. Have you done budgets lately and figured out how much you're spending on food? It's a lot. Even the cans, which I don't drink anymore, but Moose does, those 12 can things, those cartons of soda, they're up to $12.99 a carton now, where they used to be $5.99 and $6.99. So we will be thinking more about that. Now, renting a small house, the first thing you have to think about is the area. With a very small house, obviously your areas wouldn't be the high fancy areas, but all you really want is a nice, safe little area to live in. So we are probably looking for a 3-bedroom small house in a nice, safe neighborhood. And that's what we're concentrating on now, hoping to kind of get the costs down. Both Dub and Matt have been looking for those, seeing what price ranges those are in. Now, so far as expenses, yes, they will be higher, maybe by maybe 1,000 more than we might be paying per month for something, a 2-bedroom rental in a community. And there might be some expenses keeping up grounds, although I understand most landlords do take care of the grounds. I would think that would have to be negotiated. So that's our plan right now. Isn't it amazing the things you have to think about in a lifestyle change? Really, our heads are spinning. I have been encouraged by my mindset with the decluttering and the purging. I'm doing well, and certain days are better than other days. Why? I don't know. Certain days I can pick up a sweater and say, nope, that one I'll donate, or that one goes to the trash. Other days I'll pick it up and say, maybe I'll donate this. No, maybe I'll keep it. I go this way. I don't like those days. I have to be more decisive about what I'm doing. So when I get up in the morning and I start that, is this one going to go or is it going to stay with me? Whatever. Now, on the other hand, there is something to look forward to. If we do find a little cozy house, guess what? I will be bringing more of my little treasures with me, right? Because after all, furnishing a cozy house would be a lot cozier than furnishing an apartment, wouldn't it? With big white walls? Who knows? Maybe we'll even find a little fireplace or something to be spent. But once again, this decision probably in the end is going to depend on finances and definitely mobility. The house that we find would definitely have to be wheelchair accessible. Now, we do have a portable ramp that if we have a step maybe about this big to get into a front door, we have a ramp that we can put down that would help get the wheelchair into the house. Moosey is pretty much wheelchair bound now. And the other thing that we are hoping to get to help us cut down on these weekly doctor trips, I'm going to call them, where Moosey has to get in the car and then get out of the car and go visit doctors, get blood drawn. We possibly might be able to get some Medicare coverage to have more telephone calls. Many's the time, some of these doctor visits, the doctor doesn't touch Moosey, basically. He talks about what's on his computer and what's happening with blood work and various other things. All this comes to him. And we figure, why can't we do this by telephone? Some of those visits. Now, maybe other visits you would have to go in, but the weekly ones, why can't we do them by telephone? And I have heard that you can have blood drawn within. Now, this is something they need the constant blood being drawn to see the progress on the tumor. So we are going to try and see if we can't get some help in the home to be able to help take care of Moosey a little bit better too. Honestly, as time goes on, it is more difficult for me to handle these things. And if helping him move is difficult, I can't lift him. As a matter of fact, trying to get in and out of a wheelchair now is a little more difficult. He needs 2 cushions instead of 1 to be able to lift himself. Now, he is promising to up his exercise more and try and do that to be able to help me. So far as myself, I'm okay right now, but I have to keep up my exercise too. And that means not having food delivered here. Those trips are not bad. It's putting the stuff away that bothers me. God bless you.
Thank you.
It doesn't bother me shopping. I have a cart to lean on when I shop for food anyway. Maybe I'd spend less money if perhaps I had someone else do it, but I need to get out to get that exercise to keep me going to be able to help him, if that makes sense. So, am I still inspiring you, or is it getting too confusing? Is it really getting a bit too confusing for you all? So many of your stories. I know this week, Carol and, oh gosh, who was the other one? I think it was Linda, had some great tips on various things, decluttering, and but especially some of you did mention the house, the small house, and that's kind of what got the wheels started. And so we're into that right now. So this is definitely a journey, isn't it, my friends? It just goes on and on, but you have to keep all of the segments going at the same time. I can't stop the constant decluttering and purging because then I'll get behind on what I'm doing. Aiden is helping with the larger things, and at some point we will think about furniture, depending on where we decide to go, possibly, and what might even be available. And that's the other question. If something came up right away and they wanted you to move, do you hop on it right away when we're not really ready to move into it, or what? So many questions, but we're still up for it. And I hope you're still with us in there. Don't go away, because we are trying to solve it all. So meanwhile, I ordered 2 extra of these. They were on sale, $5.95 for this wonderful. I just have to keep talking about this because once again, I put this on my face. It takes me 3 minutes, and I don't even need a second round to cover my boo-boos and Jersey Shore old age spots and everything. This is wonderful, my friends. I urge you all. This, by the way, was an Amazon purchase, and I said to Muzi, it was only $3.95, so don't throw that one out. Throw the birds out if you have to, but not my tinted moisturizer. Okay, I think that's about it for now. I do have the day to get some more decluttering, and I think today I'm going to work a little bit on my closet inside. The weather has been lovely here in California, and we're trying to keep things going when we have beautiful sunshine. We have at least 10 more days before we can even think about any rain or anything. We don't want that to happen outside yet until I get all my my trash into some kind of a bin. That's the other thing that we're working on too. What kind of a bin to get, and how often to have them come and dump and whatever. Decisions. Thanks so much for hanging in there with us, my friends. This is an exciting time. Yes, it has its ups and downs. It has its sadnesses. It has the curiosity and the excitement of something new. But we still have to keep in mind, we are 88. Moosey will be 89 in a few months. And that makes a big difference on what we're doing, what we're trying to do. And we can't get ahead of ourselves thinking that we're 65 again and able to do all these other things. That's the tough part. Honestly, sometimes I don't feel my age, sometimes I do. But right now, it still is an exciting thing to think about. And I treasure all your opinions and all your tips. So thank you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much to all our new subscribers that have joined our family. And by the way, if you want to get to know more about us, I have 770 something videos that we've been doing over the last 6 years. So go back. I've talked about everything from soup to nuts, cooking, family, beauty, makeup, hair, clothes. Of course, I love it all. Purging, thrifting. I love everything. I have all kinds of hobbies that I love, and you might find something a little bit more about us that you might want to know. Love you all, my friends. See you soon. Bye-bye. And God bless us all, everyone.